The Cleveland Indians have reacquired quite possibly their most famous, most beloved, possibly their best player of all time, Jim Thome. The first baseman, mostly DH now, was reacquired from the Minnesota Twins. This is about 9 years after he left Cleveland to join the Philadelphia Phillies. And I believe it was 2002. Let me just check my stats here. I believe it was 2002 he signed with the Phillies. Yeah, after the 2002 season. So, about 8 years maybe probably he's been gone out of Cleveland. Signed in 2000, started 2003 to 2005 with the Phillies. Then he went to the White Sox for another 3 years. Jumped around a little bit, went to the Dodgers in late 2009. Played last year and for the majority part this season with the Minnesota Twins, leaving really Kansas City Royals and the Detroit Tigers as the only AL Central teams he hasn't played for, which is interesting. Would have been kind of interesting to see him end up on the Royals or Tigers. But Cleveland probably, they picked him up. They probably claimed him mostly because they didn't want him to end up in Detroit. But even if he doesn't provide anything, still, it's a nice pickup for Cleveland. It's nice to bring him back, maybe so Jim can end his career there. He just hit his 600th home run. It probably would have been more fun if he had done it as a member of the Indians than a member of the Twins. I kind of like Jim Thome. I've always liked Jim Thome. He was not really Chicago guys. A couple people got annoyed at me on Twitter when I said he was a Chicago guy. The guy's from Peoria, okay? He's downstate Illinois. His favorite team growing up was the Chicago Cubs. He's played here in Chicago for the White Sox. I'm claiming him as mine. I'm claiming him for Chicago. Forget Peoria. Who cares? The guy's 40 years old, and he's still relevant, which is amazing. He's been playing since, I think, 91. I'm pulling up those stats right now. What was his first? He first came up, played 27 games in 1991. So he's got 20 years. Those first couple years weren't great. 91, 92, 93. He only played in a handful of games. 94 was his first real year. He played in 98 games. And he had good numbers. He had decent numbers. He had 86 hits. He had 20 home runs. And then from there, he just kept going. 94, 20, 95, 25, 38, 40. Dropped down to 30, 33, 37, 49 and 01, 52 in his last season in Cleveland. And then he had 47 his first year in Philly, one short of the Phillies record. They dropped down to 42. Then in 2005, he was hurt. He only played in 59 games. He only had 7 home runs. Then he joined the White Sox. He had 42, 35, 34, and then 23. Not bad. All decent. White Sox were out of it 09. He came here chasing a ring with the White Sox because he got traded after the White Sox won in 2005. Little did anyone really know that him being traded and opening up first base for Ryan Howard would eventually lead the Phillies to a World Series. Played only 17 games with the Dodgers, didn't hit a home run. Last year for the Twins, played in 108 games, hit 25. This year he's got 12. So far for his career, he's got 601. And him and Ken Griffey Jr. are now the unquestioned premier power hitters of this live ball steroid era, whatever you'd like to call it. They're the only ones that no one even has a question about. Sosa, there's never an accusation or evidence, but it's the eye test. Everyone knows something is going on. Bonds, we all know. We had Giambi. We got A-Rod now, too. McGuire, obviously. So it's really Griffey and Thome. And the nice thing is they're both good guys. They're both fan favorites. Griffey is still beloved in Seattle. And Thome is beloved in Cleveland. I hope that I can find the game on tonight so I can watch the reaction the Indians fans have for Jim Thome. I know a friend of my radio show, the MG Experience, Samantha Button, Cleveland sports girl. She loves it. She thinks it's mostly a PR move because the Indians are 6.5 games behind the Tigers, and that's a lot of ground to make up in the next month. But they do play a couple times head to head. I mean, the Indians do need this move. I mean, they need to go pick up Jim Thome because they just lost Travis Hafner for the season. I mean, that's about all I got. I mean, I'm happy for Jim Thome. It'd be a nice story for him to end his career at the end of this season with the Indians and probably get, I would guess, maybe his number retired by the Indians. Um, I think that's all I got. All I got, Jim Thome. It'd be nice. I mean, even better, it'd be nice to see the Indians make a run. But yeah, like I said, probably not going to happen. So make sure to check me out Mondays and Thursdays, MG Experience. Check out my websites, theChicagoFan.com, MasterStreetHockey.com, and follow me on Twitter at DaChicagoFan, DA Chicago Fan. Thanks. See you guys next time.